I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood, the kind where nothing really happens, or so I thought. I've always felt safe here. We have decent neighbors, quiet streets, and enough distance between houses that you feel like you have privacy. But that privacy quickly became a curse one particular night. It happened about a year ago during late autumn. I remember it was one of those cold, windy nights where the leaves scratch against the windows, making random sounds that are usually easy to ignore. But that night, something was different. I was lying in bed around 11:30 p.m., scrolling through my phone like I always do before sleeping. My room is on the second floor, and my bed is positioned in a way where my head is near the window. I usually keep my blinds halfway down, just enough to see outside if I wanted to, but also enough to maintain some privacy. At some point, I got that sudden feeling like something wasn't right. You know when the hairs on your arms and neck stand up? Yeah, that. I paused, put my phone down, and just listened. At first, I thought it was the wind. Leaves brushing against the siding, maybe an animal walking on the roof. Nothing unusual. But then, I heard it. Tap, tap, tap. It was deliberate, controlled, fingertips on glass. I froze. I didn't even breathe. The taps came again, slightly harder this time. Tap, tap, tap. I slowly turned my head toward the window. The blinds were down just enough that I couldn't fully see outside unless I lifted them. My brain immediately went into panic mode, tried to rationalize. Maybe a branch was hitting the window, but there were no trees close enough for that. Then the tapping stopped. For about 5 seconds, there was total silence, until something far worse replaced it. I heard breathing. Not my own. Heavy, slow, deliberate breathing just outside the window. I sat there, paralyzed, my eyes locked onto the blinds. Should I lift them to see? Or should I just pretend I didn't hear it? My fight or flight instincts were battling each other. Then came the whisper, a voice so quiet I wasn't even sure I heard it right the first time. I can see you. My heart practically exploded in my chest. I scrambled out of bed and crawled toward the door, trying not to make any noise. I didn't dare stand up in case whoever was outside could see me. I reached for my bedroom door handle, turned it slowly, and slipped into the hallway. I went straight to my parents' room and woke my dad up, whispering frantically that someone was at my window. At first, he thought I was dreaming or exaggerating. But when we both heard a sudden, loud thump against the house siding, his face changed. He jumped out of bed, grabbed the baseball bat he keeps by his nightstand, and told me to stay behind him. We went downstairs and out the back door to check. The backyard was pitch black, only partially lit by the motion sensor lights, which, oddly, weren't on. That should have been the first red flag. We walked around the house slowly. My dad shined his flashlight up toward my window, and that's when we saw it. Footprints. Bare footprints. On the dirt below my window. They were smudged and uneven, but clearly visible. Whoever it was had been standing there for a while. And then we noticed something worse. There were scratch marks on the window frame. Not huge gashes, but like someone had been dragging their fingernails or a knife along the edges of the glass. My dad immediately called the police. They arrived in about 10 minutes, did a quick sweep of the area, but of course the person was gone. No other prints. No evidence beyond the footprints and the scratches. The officers told us it was probably a transient or someone trying to mess with random houses, but they took it seriously. They suggested installing cameras and making sure all windows and doors were locked tight. I didn't sleep at all that night. I sat in the living room with all the lights on until sunrise. For the next few weeks, I was jumpy every time the sun went down. We did install cameras, one facing the backyard and one pointing directly in my bedroom window. And for a while, everything was fine. No weird noises, no breathing, nothing. Until about 3 weeks later. I was sitting in my room doing homework when I heard the motion sensor light in the backyard click on. My stomach dropped instantly. I grabbed my phone, pulled up the live camera feed, and there he was. A man, standing directly below my window. He was barefoot again, wearing a hoodie with a hood pulled up. He just stood there, looking up at the window, staring, not moving. I immediately screamed for my dad, who came running. By the time he got there and grabbed the bat again, the man had bolted. We called the police, but just like the first time, the guy was gone before they arrived. This time, the camera caught him clearly. His face wasn't fully visible, but enough of it showed that the police said they might be able to ID him if he had a record. They never told us if they actually did. We ended up installing floodlights, more cameras, and even replaced my window with one that has shatterproof glass. I never saw him again after that. Whether it was the cameras, the lights, or just sheer luck, I don't know. But every now and then, late at night, when I hear the wind blow just the right way, I swear I still hear it. Tap, tap, tap.